Day Center?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Okay, good. Didn't it used to be called the Eaton Center?
They did.
Ah,
He's
that's
out of business.
That's it. There you go. All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Bye. Ken! Hi!
You just got out of the bus.
I just got off the 28. I've just been running back from Esquimalt.
Oh boy, you're pretty active, eh?
Well, I went down to see Derek, and he was delayed a little bit because he had to take his meds before he came out.
Is that the blind runner?
No, that's Graham.
Derek Graham?
No, Derek's a different guy.
Or Derek?
A younger guy. He's 31.
What's his last name?
Muir.
Derek, I don't know him.
I don't think so. No, you don't.
Well, the food floor is upstairs. I don't know where you want to. What did you want to do? Do you want to sit down somewhere?
I'm not too worried. I wouldn't mind eating something. Where's somewhere cheap to eat?
Well, the food floor is upstairs. There's lots of places up there.
Yeah, it's just that it's noon right now.
Oh, it's really busy. Yeah, it's really... Okay, well, we can go to the bay one. It's quiet over there.
Well, if we go anywhere after about, let's say, 12:15, it's going to be the first people are going to be already waiting for their food.
Well, it's always quiet up there because all the old people go up there. That's right. A little thing I found out over the years. So that was at number 28. I thought it was at number 80. Oh, there is no number 80. That's right. It's 28. Yeah.
28 is Gordon Head. There's also another bus, the 27.
Yes, yeah, we can go this way. That's right. 27. Yeah, that's the Maple Gordon Head.
Majestic is the 28, and the other one is the Gordon Head bus. That's right.
Just
the
those
27.
two.
Yep.
27 or Gordon Head and Majestic.
Those are the two. Yeah.
And that's how you. Oh, so you have a bus pass?
No, what I did was, because I was going to run back from Esquimalt to Gordon Head, I got the bus out to Esquimalt. I took the 26, waited for about 10 minutes at McDonald's, had a couple of hash browns and a free cup of coffee. They're giving away free coffee at McDonald's today.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Do we go through clinic?
Yeah. Well, so you don't. So how do you get around? You don't have a car. You don't have a bus pass.
No, I just use 2 tickets, and then I get a day pass.
And you ride your bike everywhere.
When I'm not riding the bus or running, I ride my bike. But
I see. Yeah.
What happened today was that Derek was slightly delayed leaving. We didn't leave Esquimalt till about 10:15, and then we ran all the way back to Shelbourne Street.
Oh.
And I looked at my watch, it was already 11:23, so I thought I better run to the next bus stop and then get the bus downtown, otherwise I'd be late. I figured you'd probably give me 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't run... Well, let's see. I used to have vehicles. I haven't had any vehicles for a long time.
Did you have a driving license?
I don't want them. I had van, cars, and I had a truck, and I've been all through that, and I don't want it anymore. So
do we go out this way?
No, the elevator.
Oh.
So so I have a bus pass, and they tell me I'm green. All the drivers always say it's green to have a bus pass. Well, so I think I'm helping a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, well, you're not using a car, which is good. They showed a picture once of a street full of cars, and then they showed the same number of people on one bus. If the bus was full, you could have got rid of all those cars that filled the whole street.
Yeah. We're going to the top.
We're going to the top?
Yeah, 5.
Oh, somebody else is going to 5.
Yeah, there's a brown thing over Calgary now. It's been there quite a few years now. Yeah, a brown layer, just like L.A.
Really?
And my brother-in-law has lived there for 40 years, and he said when he went there, it wasn't there. It's just come on in the last 25 years.
I guess a lot of people... Is this number... No, this is 4. I guess a lot of people are burning a lot of fuel out there because it's cheaper.
Everybody drives over there.
You have to, really, don't you?
But I mean, imagine over Calgary. That's hard to believe, you know, on the prairie.
You would think it would be clean air and everything, fresh air and wild animals.
Well, I mean, it's all the... where's this place? Yeah, this is it.
Okay, good.
It's It's usually quiet here at Carlos because there's so many old people coming over.
Oh, you're right. Yes, it is. I keep getting, my phone keeps making noises, but that's
Somebody
because...
trying to get you, maybe.
I think so. It's because there probably is free Wi-Fi here, and my phone has picked up on the signal.
Oh.
You know that Shore? Has that Shore open?
No, I don't have a phone. I don't.
Yeah, but with your iPad, if you brought it with you today, you could be checking your email and all sorts of things.
And you can use it as a phone, somebody told me.
Yep, you can.
I never got to that point yet. And I just...
Are you vegetarian, Ken?
No, I just eat whatever's around. You know Rob? Rob Willie? Robert Rob?
Yes.
Okay, I'll introduce you. Come say, hi Rob. How are you? Do you know this guy? You know this guy?
Yes,
he's a famous runner, this guy. Really?
Yes, he stood me up today. I was running with Derek, and I said, I wonder if Rob's going to show up.
Oh, no, I can't work all the time. I can work every day.
Oh, so you know each other?
We know each other from Facebook.
Oh, okay. You were in jail together, maybe?
We were in jail.
Okay, that's what you know each other from.
Well, we came here for lunch, believe it or not. We've been running with, I've been running with Derek. I'm trying to get this group together. You, me, him, and Derek.
Oh.
For the Harriers 8K.
Oh.
Right.
That's on January the 8th.
I'd have to ask for that day off, like ahead of time.
Yeah, but it's about 8 weeks away.
Yeah.
Would you go in it if you had a chance?
Because he's got a car.
Oh, if I had a chance, I would, yeah.
You would?
I did it years and years ago.
Well, you look as if you're still in good shape for running. You did the 8K with the marathon, didn't
Right,
you?
yeah.
What was your time? 1 hour?
Yeah, I hadn't done much running, was in the process of moving and all that.
Were you running solo or were you running with a partner?
I was just totally by myself. And you know where I live, sort of on Manchester Street.
Yeah.
No, actually it was on Robert Street, so I walked from there to the start. Walked home after the race.
Oh, well, this is a real coincidence because I've been keeping in touch with this guy via Facebook for about a year now.
Okay.
Because he used to go to Lambrick Park.
That's right.
My sons went to Lambrick Park.
What year were you there?
Oh, I can't remember. 97, around that time. But you left by then.
Yeah,
that what
I've been back since 2001 helping coach the track and cross country.
Good for you.
Is that where they had that huge field? They used to have cross-country races there?
Yeah.
They still do?
Yeah. Still once in a while.
I saw that guy, Steve Ozzy Duke,
yeah.
It was the BC or Canadian BC Championships, I think it was.
And then Craig Odermatt or
Craig Odermatt.
Yeah, that guy.
What do you guys like for lunch?
Oh, yeah, but that's what we're here for.
I'll have a bowl of soup.
Well, let's just... Yeah. We'll see in a minute.
Yeah, that Steve Ozzy Duke, he was one heck of a runner, that guy.
Yeah, he went to...
Mind-boggling.
he ended up going to... where's that place? Up in the mountains.
Is that Boulder, Colorado?
Yeah, I think he went up to Colorado and he was running with the Americans.
Oh, yeah?
I think he got a scholarship, a running scholarship.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. What soup are you going to have? Beef and barley? Or split pea?
Split pea.
All
And a
right.
pea man. And then I'll get one of these, I think.
These buns?
Yeah.
Well, isn't that a coincidence? Because I thought he worked downtown near the Inner Harbor.
This is downtown near the Inner Harbor.
Well, yeah, I guess it is.
Yeah. We were in the Y together about 30 years ago. And have you ever heard of a guy called Mario Lubrick Six?
No.
Okay. Or Winona Pugh. She was.
I know Winona Pugh, yeah.
They were.
They were involved with the marathon organization at one time.
Yeah, and I was with that group. We used to run, and Rob was in our group. And
You got a bigger bowl of soup than
that
I
was my
did.
thumb.
Yeah, I just got myself a cup of soup.
A cup of soup.
Yeah, and I'm going to get myself some sandwiches or something. Maybe I'll get Rob to cut me something.
I'll go and find a table.
All right, you going to have anything else?
No, I think that's good. Thanks.
Thank you. Hi.
Is this okay, or?
Oh, this is fine, yeah.
Okay.
It's incredible that you should have picked this place because I've been trying to get in touch with Rob face to face for so long.
Long time?
Yeah. Let me just get some cutlery. I need a spoon and... oh, good. But I still need something for my pie.
Yeah.
My quiche.
Quiche?
Yeah.
Must have eggs in it then.
It does.
Quiche has eggs, right?
This should be quiche and salmon. There was a book in the 80s called Real Men Don't Eat Quiche.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What do they eat?
I don't know, I suppose.
Moose meat. Maybe.
Moose meat, yeah. Bear meat.
Oh, look at this.
What?
That's different.
Maybe it's supposed to do that.
Oh, is it?
I don't know.
No.
You got a defective seat?
As long as it supports me, I guess it's all that matters. Yeah, he was part of our group. This guy Mario, he was one of the run leaders, and there was Winona. Winona was the sort of an impromptu club like the Flying Y. They always had a Flying Y in Victoria, so back since the 20s or 30s. Archie McKinnon took the team to the Olympics, Berlin Olympics.
Was that the one that they boycotted? The Americans boycotted it or something?
No, that was Hitler was there. That's the last Olympics they had before the Second World War.
Okay.
And
I got you now.
there was no Olympics.
That was the one that Jesse Owen won, the 100 meters.
Yeah, and then there was no, and then 40 the war was on, 44 the war was on, and so the next one was 48 in London.
Yeah.
But the Flying Y went there, the swim team and some of the runners, like some runners from Victoria.
Really?
And, yeah. And
were you born in Victoria?
Yeah. I'm a third generation. My grandparents came here in 1907, and
Wow.
so so anyway, and then there's been different Flying Y clubs over the years, and it was never regarded as like a club like the Prairie and Harriers, a competitive. It wasn't that kind of a club. They were slower runners. They were more like joggers. A jogging.
And it was more like a drop-in. People could just show up and
a jogging club, and they weren't highly competitive like the Prairie and Harriers.
Yeah.
And at that time, they went down. The Harriers went down, and they won that Lewis to Clark relay that went across Washington, Oregon. It was a trail, a 100-mile or 80-mile trail or whatever, and there was a relay race. It was called the Lewis and Clark Trail, and it's to do with American history.
Yep, I remember. I was watching a documentary about that.
And they went down, and the Americans, they thought, oh, these guys from Canada, like they're no good, but they beat everybody. They won the relay. You should talk to Bob Reed about that.
I was going to ask you, did Bob Reed go to Al Howie's funeral?
Yeah, no. They weren't good friends. They never got along very well together.
It's funny how I noticed that as well. Whenever I was talking about Al Howe, Bob used to shut up. He never used to join in.
He said he was a mooch because he always wanted to go in the races for nothing. He always wanted to...
Well, that's not really fair, is it?
Well, Bob said everybody else has to pay to go in the race. Why shouldn't Al? That was his outlook. But that was a sore point with Bob Reed. That
he felt that Al was a bit of a moocher?
A mooch, yeah. He said he should pay to go in the races just like everybody else. But anyway, no, there wasn't too many. It's a shame there wasn't too many runners there. It's a shame. You see, Al turned a lot of people off. There's a lot of people that they didn't like him at all. And
do you think it might have been something to do with his accent, his Scottish accent?
No, he was demanding. He was very aggressive and very demanding.
Well, I think a lot of that aggression was because he'd have to explain things twice because he'd say something and they wouldn't understand what he said.
Oh, well, maybe that was it.
And he said it to me once. He said, I don't mind talking to you, Carlos, because you understand the Scottish accent. Most of the Canadians, when I speak in my Scottish accent, I have to keep repeating myself.
Well, anyway, so that was the thing with Bob Reed. And then there was another guy that he even wanted to kill him. and he was in the Victoria Fire Department. A guy called Doug Gregory, not
Oh,
Dick
I know
Gregory,
him.
Doug Gregory, and
Dick's brother.
huh?
Dick's brother.
Dick Gregory, the American comedian.
Oh, no, okay. There were two firefighters,
Oh,
and they used to be based out of the fire station on Michigan Avenue.
oh yeah.
And one of them was called Gregory, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
that was Doug Gregory.
He wanted to kill Al.
He hated Al. I don't know why. What the thing was between those guys.
Must have been over a woman.
Yeah. And so and he was a big, tough, strong guy. And I said to Al, "Don't ever get in a." Al said, "Well, I could handle him." And I said to Al, "Don't ever get in a fight with Doug Gregory because it's not going to have a happy ending."
Well,
and he never
Al was
did.
pretty slight. He never
But he
really...
was a little bulldog, and he wouldn't back down. You know, that's the way he was. But anyway, so yeah, so it was. So actually, there was a lot of people there that weren't connected to the running at all. There were relatives and friends and acquaintances, but not running people. Like the only real running people that were there were
Chris?
Rob Grant, Chris Garrett Petts, Christine Thate.
Did Mo go?
No. Myself, who are the runners there? Okay. Rob, Chris, me, Christine Thate, Joanne Cohen, and I don't know who else. There really wasn't and so I thought some of the runners would have gotten up and contributed, you know, like a small eulogy or something.
Yeah.
I did. I
felt bad about not going.
It's hard to get up there.
Yeah.
It was hard for us to get a ride up there. We finally did get a ride, Chris and I, with this strange woman. Who didn't have any oil in her car, and she almost blew the engine up on top of the Malahat.
Oh, wow.
And we were late. And Claudia warned me. Claudia said to me, she said, Claudia knew this woman. She said, you better not come with her because you never know what's going to happen with this woman. And sure enough,
She's a walking disaster area.
yeah, and well, we and Chris was beside himself. Like, Chris hates being late, you know, and I'm a bit like that too.
Yeah.
Especially for a memorial. This is a one-time thing, right? You don't get a chance to replay this.
Chris Garrett Petts lost it on the Malahat. He got a bit...
He was, and then going back, he was even worse because I said I hadn't been to Bear Mountain, so she decides to take us on a tour of Bear Mountain. So we're driving all over the place, and Chris, I'll get a hold of him, and we'll get together with him.
Old Chris Garrett Petts.
Yeah.
Are you on Facebook?
No.
No. Okay, because Chris is. And Rob knows Chris from Facebook.
Rob Willie? Oh. My cousin in Chochu, she is too. She says she has friends on Facebook, but I'm not.
Well, social media can take up a lot of time, but, you know, we're retired now, so we've got lots of time.
I was up late last night watching a movie, and
On your iPad?
Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. I subscribe to Netflix.
Yep.
So
I watch most of the movies that I watch are on YouTube. I don't actually bother with Netflix.
oh yeah.
No. I think my son, when he left for the States to work, he set us up with an account for Netflix. And I think 3 people in your home could be on the same account.
Mm-hmm. Are you a grandpa? Does he have kids?
I have kids, but it doesn't look as if I'll be a grandfather. They have no girlfriends. They have no. They haven't really shown any interest.
You've got a son and a daughter.
2 boys.
2 sons. Okay.
One of them is 32, and the other one's 29.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think about January the 8th, the Harriers 8K?
Well, I guess I can't do any running. I haven't done any running or jogging for over 2 years now. I'm a bit.
You've got enough time to get back into it.
And I'm 30 pounds over. I was between 130 and 140 when I was running with Al. Now I'm 165, so I'm...
Did you ever compete with Al, other than the sheer Shimoy?
Yeah, in the 100K.
Did you run the 100 yourself?
Yeah, I had a hernia and I didn't do very well. I was running around holding on to my hernia.
Was that an Oak Bay track?
No, that was the one out in Saanich where Don Ritchie was there.
That's right.
Yeah.
I knew I'd remember his name.
Yeah. Thanks for sending me all that stuff.
The minute I hung up, I thought, it's Don Ritchie.
Yeah, he was good. He was a superstar, that guy.
Well, I asked Al once when I went up to see him in Duncan, I said, who's your hero? And he said, Don Ritchie. You think what I did was good? You check up on his stats, he said.
Yeah. But nobody ever ran across Canada for 100K a day for 72 days.
Did you hear about one of the guys that claimed that he was running across the states and they caught him out for cheating?
Yeah. And there was a guy I saw on the news, there was a guy running down Dallas Road about 2 weeks ago, claimed he just finished running across Canada. So, yeah.
Was that Fast Eddie?
Oh, maybe that's who that was. Yeah, there was.
He claimed he ran to Newfoundland and came back. Both ways.
And they had a video of him running along Dallas Road. I saw it on somewhere.
But who knows what he was up to in the middle of the prairies? He might have been in the back of the van having a sleep.
And that's one thing that Claudia told me, that Al told her.
He did it totally legit.
She said that he knew people would be questioning it and doubting it and that. So at I told you at the memorial service they had all the journals,
the logs,
and it's all, you wouldn't believe how detailed they are.
Like, who did that? Did Claudia do that?
I don't know who did it, Carlos, but Claudia's got them, and I suppose she keep them.
Well, we've got quite a nice view here. We've got the inner harbour, we've got the Souk Hills in the distance.
Mm-hmm.
Were you ever in the military?
Reserve.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you didn't serve?
No.
How old are you now?
42. I'll be 75 on my next birthday.
Wow. So you're 10 years older than me.
Mm-hmm.
When was the last time you worked? I remember you were involved with Russell Books for a while.
Yeah, that was a sort of a career change for me.
What were you doing, carpentry or something?
Yeah.
Making bookshelves?
Yeah, I'm working around the property. We built a house out there, and
oh, that's right.
And his dad said we did more work in 5 years than the average person does in 10 years.
Yeah.
Because
what was the DePaul, wasn't it? The DePaul family.
Chad's like that.
He's a good runner.
He drive, go, faster.
When I first arrived in Victoria, Chad DePaul was at the top of his game. He'd just finished winning some races. You know, he was in the top, always on the podium.
Mm-hmm.
And his sister, Andrea, she was a very good-looking woman.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the first times I met them was at a race at the Cedar Hill Rec Centre. Mm-hmm. Mud, Sweat and Tears. You remember that one?
I was in that race.
I might have seen you there, but this was like within the first few weeks of coming here from Montreal. I thought, well, I might as well see if there's any local races I could enter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we even had the internet back then, but still, I found out that there was a race called the Mud, Sweat and Tears.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
You know who else was there? Rosamund Dashwood.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
She used to live just around there.
Bob was in that too. Bob Reed.
Yeah.
He passed me in that race, so I knew he was there.
Phil Nichols was there too.
Yeah. There's no love lost between Phil Nichols and Rob Reed.
That's true.
For the front runners.
They used to be partners at one time.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's funny how we know all the same gossip.
Mm-hmm.
All the running talk.
You don't know any of it's even true, you know. A lot of it's just...
A lot of it's fantasy, really. But Chris knows a lot, because he used to hang out with Bob Reed and Gunnar Shaw. What was his name?
Gunnar.
Bruce. Bruce Shaw, that's right.
I ran with him. He was good. Yeah, there was Alex Marshall, David Hamilton, Gunnar. And,
Chris Garthouse.
Yeah. I was in a race that Chris won. It was a run on Dallas Road, and we started at the yacht pond, and I think it was the yacht pond, and went up to Chinese Cemetery and back. It was out and back.
and the Sri Chinmoy.
Where did you start? You started at the marina, Oak Bay Marina?
No, at the yacht pond
Oh.
on Dallas Road there.
Oh, I know. Yeah, yeah.
And went out to the Chinese cemetery and back. And Chris took off like a rocket. I could still see him going along Dallas past Ross Bay Cemetery.
You
I was way
visualize
back,
him.
and he was way up there.
But you could always tell by the way he ran.
And he won that race.
He had a very strange way of running.
Yeah, and he's got a mind like a computer. He remembers that race. He could tell you who was in it even. Yeah.
It's funny how Chris has managed to make some really good friends, and there's a lot of people who just don't want to know. They think he's a little bit strange.
How does he?
He said I can take a break.
Oh, that's
That's
nice.
nice. That's because your boss knew we were here.
Pardon me?
He knew we were here. That's why he said you can have
Did
a
he?
break
I'm
now.
going to snafu that, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What happened was that I knew Ken from running, from the
Right.
Prairie and Harriers,
Right.
I don't know how we met.
because of Al Howie.
He passed me in that Arbutus 8K, and I was so mad.
Oh, wow.
I was trying to beat him, and he passed me. He's hard to beat, this
Yeah,
guy.
Same kid, yeah.
But that was a long time ago. I remember that one. That was around... and there was a guy called... what was the guy's name? I can't remember now. My mind is going already, Ken. I'm 10 years younger than him.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And his mind is sharper than mine.
Yeah.
I eat a lot of chocolate, it helps.
Yeah. But I've known you since the mid-'80s, I guess, 1986.
Remember old Mario? He'd run up the hill, get the lead out!
Oh, yeah.
Get the lead out!
Yeah.
I know most runners, because I run every day, I know most runners by sight, but when Ken asked me, do you know this guy, I said, probably by sight, but not by name.
Yeah.
Mario was a terrible womanizer, that guy, He had about 3 girlfriends on the hook all at the same time.
I didn't know that. I just know
He was
Josephine.
terrible.
I just know Josephine.
Yeah, well, she was his girlfriend, but he had other girlfriends. Yeah, and anyway, that's the way he is, that guy.
Did you ever meet Al Howie?
Yeah.
Did you ever run with him?
When he set that world record at UVic.
Was that running around the circle?
Yeah, when he was running around the circle around with that bit out there.
It was like the world record for the furthest distance covered in 24 hours. Was that what it was?
Or longest non-stop run, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Longest non-stop, I think, Rob.
Al was really good at the flat road stuff.
Yeah.
He would run forever, and because he was so tall, he wasn't really that tall, but he had very long legs. He was like a white Kenyan.
In proportion, you mean?
Yeah.
To his,
Yeah.
He had a short body and long, skinny legs.
And he didn't like running on trails. Like he said, like him and Mo Below, they were always at odds, And he'd say,
Well, Mo loves trails, but Al hated trails.
Al would say, I don't get the point. What's the point of running in the mountains?
Yeah.
And of course, Mo,
Well, I think the thing about Al is because of his diabetes, his eyesight was very bad.
Yeah, it was.
He had like Coke bottle glasses
Yeah, but that was way before that, though, problem.
before his diabetes kicked in.
Yeah, he was a good runner long before he got his diabetes.
But he did all his best efforts were on the track or on the road. Road marathons, 24-hour events, multi-day events.
He had the fastest time for the John Agusa Land's End.
That's right.
He held that fastest time for about a year.
But apparently the whole of the British Isles isn't much bigger than Vancouver Island. It's about 800 miles from the top to bottom.
Yeah.
I'll get rid of this. Yeah.
Oh, some nice lady took my tray away.
Wonder why. She works here.
Oh, she does?
Yeah.
She didn't take mine, though.
How long have you been here, Rob?
26 years altogether.
My goodness, you must have come straight from school.
Well, not all in this store. Like I started at the Old Bay, down by City Hall where the Old Bay building is. We started there in 1990.
Now it's called the Hudson.
Yeah. Then we moved here in 2003 to this location.
Wow. I used to be a cook. Did you know that?
You did?
That's why I'm so fat.
Well, I got this new friend I met. We made a friendship. I don't even. Oh yeah,
Joseph?
I know. We went. I went to the running room and I was looking at shoes, and he was there, and he's a friendly sort. And he's a talker. He's a talker like me. I'm a talker, which sometimes it tends to put people off, right? But anyway, we're both talkers, so we're still hanging around together now quite a bit now. And I keep in touch with him. And he's only 117 pounds, that guy. And I kid him. I say, well, if you lost a bit of weight, maybe you could run faster.
Yeah. Well, I weigh about the same as him.
It's true though. When even 5 pounds makes a difference. When you're right at the top, right, when you're like really fit, like Al, or people that do that sort of running, can do that kind of running. 5 pounds is a hell of a difference to them.
Yeah, and the other thing, that's why the most expensive running shoes are the lightest ones, because you can imagine what wearing a weight belt that weighed a pound round your waist.
Yeah,
that wouldn't really slow you down very much. But if you put half a pound weight on each of your running shoes and try and run like that,
that's right,
that would really slow you down.
But every year you see in the Victoria Marathon, you'll see people 190 pounds, even 200 pounds, and they do 4 hours, 4.5 hours.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive for a big guy.
They have really strong legs. Yeah. They can't run fast because they're too big and heavy. Yeah. But they're really strong in the legs, and they get through they'll get through the marathon without wrecking themselves. You know, it's just a matter of conditioning.
Yeah, but, I call those guys the roly-poly runners.
Oh, okay.
They're always at the back of the pack, and they're always running like, they're hardly jumping very much in the air. They're just rolling along, but they get it done.
There were some strange ones, wasn't there, Rob, at the Y? Do you remember the guy that wore the wig? There's a guy that, and he used to...
Was that the guy with the sweater that was Bob Allen, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he'd go along the waterfront, and he'd thrashing his arms like that, and he had a wig, and the funny thing about it was...
Did it ever blow off?
Well, it would turn around when he was running.
But he never ran in the group, though, did he? He liked to run on his own.
No, he's weird. He was at the Y, and he'd show up with us and go on.
I started running from the rail with the guys from the Y.
Well, this guy was really different. Yeah, and then.
Do you remember that pilot, John Catterall? He used to run from the YMCA. John Catterall. He flies for Air Canada. He flies one of those.
That is. I know John Schmuck.
John Schmuck. Do you know him? He was a good guy.
And Jeff Andrews, another good guy too. Who? Jeff Andrews.
Oh yeah. He's still around. Yeah,
he still running?
I just saw him not long. Do you know Jeff Van den Driesen?
Yep.
Yeah, I just saw him. Yeah.
I saw him training the other day.
But there was another guy, Rob, and you must remember. We had some weird ones. We had. Well, maybe I'm weird, but anyway, we went.
You said it, man.
He come out and we did the traditional thing. We did the long run on Sundays. That was the. You wouldn't do a long run on any other days. And Al used to joke about that. He'd say, "Well, I mean, if I did a long run on Sunday, I wouldn't be doing any long runs at all because he did a long run every day.
Every day. Yeah.
But this guy, he would show up, and this is true. And he would come with Winona, and and they have those warm ups in the old gym at the Y before we went out. And you know what he'd do?
What?
He wouldn't run. He'd run with us, but he'd go on the other side of the street. Like he was always on the other side of the street.
He didn't want to be associated with you.
On our shoulders.
But he kept up with you, but on the other side of the street.
Yeah, he was always on the other side of the street, and he never would run in our group. But he always was with us. He was always on our shoulder. And so there was him, and then there was the guy with the wig, and then there was then there was the guy who didn't run with us, but got kicked out of the Y for stealing for wearing tights, and his name was Walter Padlowski. He was Polish.
I don't remember him.
And
remember him either.
Before they did all the rentals at the Y, they had it was co-ed where everybody did their exercises. Like the women, women would go there in tights, and the guys and that. But this guy, he would show up, and he was almost half naked, and he'd be in there doing stuff like this, like this,
sort
like
of a poser.
Yeah, and he was strong. He was very muscular.
Yeah.
And there was complaints.
Oh, they probably told him to back it up a bit.
So they told him to cool it down. So anyway, we invited Chris Spicer. Chris Spicer was the manager or director of the Y. And this Padlowski lived out at Souk. Right. He was a rough and tumble redneck kind of guy, like logger, and he lived halfway between here and Souk in a little cabin out in the bush there. So he said, well, I want to make peace with this Chris Spicer, who was the manager of the Y at that time. So he invited him out for a visit out to his house. And he took him around to the backyard, and on the clothesline, hanging out on the line, were about 25 or 30 YMCA towels. That
he's been stealing towels?
Scooped over the years. And he did it just so Chris could see it. And there was all these white towels. Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Some people just like stirring it, don't they?
But it's changed. The Y has changed a lot, Rob. You know, like they have all those bikes in there now, which they didn't have before. Those exercise bikes.
Spin bikes.
And the inside, they put partitions in. It's totally different now. Did you go down there?
Last time there was about 5 years ago.
It's
the
changed.
Club, they said it hadn't been around for 20 years.
Yeah. If you go and ask them about the Flying Well, I say, what's that? You know,
Well, I remember there used to be the lunch bunch. They used to collect at the rail.
At the rail. Bob Reed used to go with them
and
too.
Rob Grant as well. That's when I was training for my first marathon.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, the Royal Victoria in 1997. That was the year I got here.
Yeah. Yeah, there was different...
my best time was my first marathon.
Oh, yeah? Did you break 3 hours?
Not quite. 3:09.
That's pretty good. Pretty good, yeah.
Well, I started running when I was 47.
Oh, yeah? Late bloomer, eh?
A late bloomer, exactly.
Yeah.
Now, do they still have that running around Beacon Park in the spring and summer? Remember, they used to start at the petting zoo?
The 21-mile relay?
No. It was a 2-mile...
Oh, the 2 mile, no, that was the Sri Chimnoy.
Yeah, Sri Chimnoy,
they don't have that
$2, it'd be like a 2-mile race.
Really?
Every Tuesday around 2 laps of the
Do you remember that one?
No, I don't. That was before my time.
And there used to be a 10K there, too.
The Sri Chimnoy 10K, that doesn't happen anymore either.
Yeah. And then there was the Dallas Dash. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, it was the Flying Mice.
We put that one on.
Yeah.
I helped invent that race. Did you help too, Rod?
I might have been a marshal or something.
There was John Schmuck and me, Winona Pugh, and
what about McNeil? Was he there?
Les McNeil.
Les McNeil.
That's right.
He was the race director.
We invented that race, and you know the story behind that? Vera came to us and said, "You guys got to get up to speed. You're the only club on the island that doesn't have its own race. It doesn't put on a race. All the other clubs had a race.
Well, the Harriers had their races, and I think that Team West Coast had their races.
Valley
had a race. West Coast 15K, wasn't it?
And the Bastion.
Bastion.
They all had their own race.
And Seaback from from Duncan.
That was the Shawnigan Lake half marathon, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You remember the twins?
Yeah.
What are
the two girls?
The two girls, Cheryl Chrysler and Sharon Chrysler.
So anyway,
it was the whites too, Sharon and.
Yeah, they're still around.
Yeah.
The twins?
Yeah, they're twins. That's what I thought you were saying.
We know a lot of the same people.
Mm-hmm. So they put pressure on us. So we invented this. We said, okay, we'll figure something out. And Winona and you,
Les McNeil,
Les and everybody, we all got together and invented this Dallas Road Dash,
which ended up as being the Times Colonist 10K, basically.
I don't know. I think it started down by Fisherman's Wharf, didn't it? And went way out and back.
Clover Point or something. Yeah.
But the thing is, one thing about that, and it really made us feel good. And it went for about 8 years, I think, or 7 years, and we actually had 700 people one year for that race that showed up.
That's amazing.
And anyway, after one of the races, I can't remember what year it was. Guess who came to me and told me that? Well, this is the best 10K I ever ran. Guess who it was?
Al Howie.
Paddy McCluskey.
Oh, really?
And he won the race, and he said, "This is the best." So we felt pretty good, you know. Chests were puffed out, you know. And
he was a good runner for a while there, wasn't he?
He went to the Olympics for Canada.
Did he?
Yeah.
What in
10,000 or something, or steeplechase or something.
I know that Steve Otherduke was a steeplechaser. He was trying to get to the Olympics for steeplechase.
So he probably went to the trials. Yeah, so there's
Bruce Deacon guy. He's good.
Bruce Deacon, I see him a lot
he's
still.
He's won the 8K, the half, and the marathon in different years. He's the only guy to do that.
Oh, yeah? Yeah.
Is the Shawnigan Lake race still around?
No, I was just...
There was a Shawnigan half marathon.
They stopped.
Maybe it became a triathlon. That's right.
But they don't...
Lake. Half Ironman.
I went to the running fair. I got these. They were selling these old T-shirts off for $5.
Wow.
The old ones. So I bought a few, you know. And I talked to this lady from Seavax, and she said they don't have the Shawnigan Lake half marathon. It's gone, done, finished. Well, that must have gone for a long time, way over 25 years.
Yeah, because in the mid '80s, they'd already been established for many years.
Yeah, so I don't know what they have now, but that was a thing to do. That was one of the races to do.
Well, putting on races can be a very good idea, but also a lot of people do it just for the money, and it becomes like a cash grab. The race director starts to put the price up for the entries, and money goes missing and stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah. That's one of the
in
things.
Victoria? Does that happen in Victoria? Not in Victoria.
Surely not.
Because nearly these didn't cost that much to do them.
Do you remember a guy called Bill Justice?
Yeah.
He used to have tattoos. Well, he probably still has tattoos.
Yeah.
There was something about a bike. There was a race put on. I think it was one of those races at Henderson at Christmas time, like Jingle Bell Run or
the marathon.
the marathon. He was involved in that, and they were raffling off a bike, one of these suspension road bikes, really expensive bike, and he was collecting money for the raffle, and he disappeared with the money and the bike. And the next thing I heard of is he's got in Alberta somewhere, in Edmonton.
Well, there was a guy, Sylvan Smythe. You remember a guy called Sylvan Smythe?
Yeah, he's still around.
And there was some thing about money with him, too, with the Clarion Harriers. I guess it happens,
Well, there's a lot of work. Putting on a race isn't easy.
No.
And you think, how come I'm not getting a cent out of this? And then they start getting greedy. They say, well, nobody's keeping track of the petty cash.
But that's not cricket. You shouldn't be doing that. You're putting races on to get money just for yourself. I mean, that's...
Well, that's like, extortion, isn't it? You get all these people giving you money, and what are you doing? All you're doing is say, sure, you can run. I've measured the course. Give me your money. Here's a crappy T-shirt. Here's a plastic medal.
Yeah.
Off you go. Enjoy yourselves.
But I was telling Carlos about historically, the flying Y went way back. Like, there's a guy called Archie McKinnon. You know that name.
From the gym. McKinnon Gym.
Yeah, McKinnon Gym. And then to the 30, they were at the 36 Olympics in Berlin.
Oh wow!
Munich or Berlin? No, Berlin. I guess it was Berlin. Just before Hitler was there. Just before the Second World War. And I think they went back even before. There was a guy called Torchy Peden.
Right. Yeah, the biker.
Yeah, and Torchy Peden.
Was he Canadian?
Yeah, Victoria guy. And Patrick, Les, and most.
I remember. He must. If he was alive, he'd be like 99 years old.
Yeah.
I looked after his brother, the Peden brothers.
That's them, yeah.
They used to have a store on Douglas Street.
Yeah, that's them. Well, and that goes back to there's historically...
I looked after one of the Peden brothers. He had dementia at the end.
But so the Flying Y, but it wasn't just track though. They had runners or swimmers as well. I guess it was mainly swimming.
But that was before triathlon.
Yeah, there was a woman. I took swimming lessons from her, Marge Naismith. She was swimming, and then there was Archie McKinnon, and there was and then there was runners. I can't remember their names now. They're gone now.
You can do it, Ken. Think.
The sprinter. Well, I can't think of them now. But there was some pretty good runners. Yeah, a guy called Lynn Eves. Lynn Eves. There was.
What was the name of that French guy that used to run with Bob and Bruce Shaw and all the other ones?
Andre Gerard.
I bumped into him. He was a friend of. You remember Christine Fate, her partner, Lloyd?
Yeah.
His friend was that Frenchman.
Oh yeah.
What was his name again?
Andre Gerard. Yeah. And there was three brothers. Those three brothers, Burgess, Art Burgess, Don Burgess, and Tom Burgess, and they were Victoria. They were pretty big on sports too. Yeah. And
Well, in those days, if you were good at running, you were pretty much elite because very few people ran. If you saw somebody running down Douglas Street back in those days, they would call the cops.
Well, they used to have the Douglas Day Mile, remember, in the parade?
Yeah.
In the parade, they'd have the elite runners, and it'd be like a race, and they start at Mayfair Mall and finish down by the conference center. They'd run the parade route.
Yeah, do you remember that? You don't
forgot about that.
No, that was before my time.
Another good one was the Coors Island Relay. Remember the Island Relay would start from Courtney and finish down at
I did that.
Oh, I don't remember.
I did that as an ultra once.
Was that? Oh, okay.
I did that as an ultra. We ran from Thrifty Foods in Courtney all the way down to Mill Bay. That's where the finish was. It was 120 kilometers.
That's right. It was a 2-day stage for you, like 2 days.
Yeah, but I did the whole thing as an ultra.
Right,
Well, there was also. Do you remember All Fun? That All Fun Recreation Park out at
Right, with the water signs.
They had a run too. They used to put on.
Oh, I didn't know that.
There was Monica, Willie, and
Oh yeah, I was in that one. It was a triathlon, wasn't it?
yeah. See, they own Dodge.
Really Dodge, yeah.
They own that car dealership on the corner of Douglas and.
I think between the three of us, we know everybody.
Yeah, the Monica. She was a real looker. Boy, she walked into that Y, and it would be. Forget what they were doing right away. She was the daughter of the guy that owns the dealership on.
Yeah, he passed away. Frank really passed away about 6-7 years ago.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and they own the All Fun Recreation. Is it still there? That All Fun Recreation?
Yeah, the water sites aren't there.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a go-karts and there's
they had a race there.
driving range, a batting cage.
Well, the race either finished or started there because I was in it. I remember going.
But was it a trail race or a road race?
It was a road race. Yeah.
Okay,
we didn't have too many.
I was thinking the Panorama Leisure Center. They put on a race there, a triathlon there.
Oh yeah.
There's a 500-meter pool swim. And a 20K
And I
bike.
believe they used to do a bit of trail running as well, part of the course. And the Hatley Castle, remember that one?
Yeah. That was that evolved out of the old Admiral Nelly's, the 4.2 one.
Is that what it was?
The military. When Royal Roads was a military college.
I think
Did you do that one, Rob?
Chris Garrett Petts won that one.
40
one
years
year.
ago.
Maybe.
Chris Garrett Petts won that race, the Nelly.
He did.
Yeah, that one and the seawall in Vancouver. He asked him once what were his best races.
He won the Seawall race in Vancouver.
I think that's when he was running his best.
Wow, he must have been good because
He's still around. He's on Facebook too. He's still around.
Yeah, no, we know him quite well from Facebook.
But to win that race, they're really fast. They had to get some of the best runners in Canada going that Seawall race.
But Chris now he just runs half an hour at a time most mornings, but he delivers papers still.
Yeah,
so that keeps him out of trouble.
He'd be in the 70s by now, wouldn't he? Or?
I don't think he's quite as old as that. He's probably my age.
Mm-hmm.
He might be 65.
Yeah.
He took early retirement. Or they laid him off, I'm not sure. Did they lay him off?
I don't know. I don't know what happened.
He had a job for the BC government, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
Back in the days of Glenn Clark. Do you remember him?
Oh, yeah.
The NDP?
Mm-hmm.
Now, my first race I did started at UVic. You ran that Mount Tommy down the other side, and the finish was on top of Mount Doug.
Wow.
The Twin Peaks 10K.
Oh, that's a good one.
Wow.
They only did it from about 1986 to about 1988, 89.
Wow. I remember Al Halley did the Mount Doug 14 times.
Yeah.
He ran up and ran down 14 times. I think he called it his vertical marathon or something.
Yeah.
Is that marathon?
Vertical marathon.
Vertical marathon, yeah.
Because you got I think 250 meters of elevation each time you go up.
I think he went up 14 times too.
20
30 times or something. That Sri Chimney was here. He wanted to impress.
And they had the torch, the torch of the peace torch or something like that.
So, do you have to go back to work?
A couple of minutes.
Oh, gee.
We have chopped the back legs off a mule here.
That was fun.
It was, and we managed to kill 2 or 3 birds with one stone
We know a
today.
lot of people
Oh, I don't kill birds. It's not nice for the environment.
No, it's not nice for the environment. But the thing is, you see, now I've met Rob, I know how to contact him.
Well, now you got a new customer. He's going to
you
be
can
coming up
contact
here
me anytime on
buying
Facebook.
food all the time.
Anytime I'm in the downtown area around lunchtime, I'll come.
You know what I told him? I said, we got here, it's quiet because all the old people come here. That's not very nice, is it? But I said that.
Well, they were training a cashier today, so that was slowing things up a little bit. But
Now, did you hear about that guy that broke his leg in the marathon this year?
no, I
Mark
didn't.
Hamlet. I actually know him. He's on Facebook too.
Oh, you mentioned it, yeah. How is he?
He broke his leg.
He fractured his hip.
He's off the crutches now.
Oh.
But in the days prior, he had...
Was it what they call a green stick fracture? Like, it didn't go right across, it was like splintered?
So, yeah, but he had something wrong with his leg a few days before he saw his doctor, and he said, just take it easy, you'll be fine. But I guess his doctor didn't realize how grueling a marathon really is.
And he ran the marathon on a broken leg, basically.
When it happened right at the end, he collapsed right near the end, so they packed him across on the stretcher and gave him a smell.
There's a video of somebody crawling in that race. I've seen it.
Kenyan?
Yeah.
That was a couple of years ago.
Just,
There was a couple of years ago. He was leading by a mile.
He was in Victoria.
The Kenyan. And he collapsed just around on Montreal Street, just coming around the corner. And he crawled.
Doesn't give running a good name.
No, you shouldn't have to see people suffer like that.
That'd be scary to have him that close to the finish.
Yeah. Well, he probably went out too hard. I mean, 99% of the reason people don't enjoy running is because they go out too hard and then they crash and burn at the end.
Well, that's what John always said.
If you go out slow, all that's going to happen is eventually you'll get into your pace group, and eventually they'll start tiring before you, and you'll get encouragement because you'll be passing people at the end.
If you can do negative splits, that's a smart way to do it. Yeah.
I would, in some of the races that I did when I was doing more road running, I would literally start at the very, very back line of the pack with the strollers, the dogs, and the roly-poly runners. I would be right at the back, and they said, "What are you doing back here?" I said, "It's the only way I can pace myself. Put myself behind you guys, and then gradually, as the field opens, then you work your way through."
But I think it's hard for elite runners though if you do that because they're playing catch up for the whole race.
For elite runners, they're better off being on an open road right from the get go.
In a pack, stay in the pack if you can. Yeah. But those guys. Did you watch the Rio, the men's race on the video?
I didn't see any of the running. It's so unfortunate.
There's a 3-hour video of it. It's really interesting. And you can see exactly what's happening. They're all in this pack, and it starts to splinter.
Who was it won by? A Kenyan?
Ethiopian guy. Oh, and he made a statement. He was he doesn't like the government that's in power in his country, and he was coming down. This is the first guy in first place, and being beamed all over the world on television all around.
Did he
the world,
have a big poster?
He's doing this. He's like making some kind of a. And they, you know what they found out later? It's like giving the finger to this political group in Kenya. You know what he said when they interviewed him? Yeah. He said, "Oh, they'll probably kill me when I get back." Imagine.
He probably was looking for asylum.
Well, jeez. Yeah. I mean, I remember when in one of the Olympics, the Americans,
Don Carlos, the black guys,
the three black sprinters did that.
Yeah.
You know, and boy, that
caused the stir.
Yeah.
Remember one Olympics, somebody pushed was the top guy. It was a couple miles before the finish line, and somebody came off.
Oh, the Greek
sidewalk.
Wasn't it a Greek guy, a defrocked priest that interfered with the running of the Olympics, the marathon in Athens, I think it was.
Yeah, was it that long ago?
I'm not sure.
Well, you know your history. The most famous case is when
this guy's a trivia buff.
When Kay Switzer got tackled by that old fart that was in charge of putting on the Boston Marathon.
Oh.
And Catherine Switzer. He comes up behind. He's on the press box. He comes up behind her and tackles her. And her boyfriend is right there, so the boyfriend tackles him.
I've seen the pictures.
But that really shook things up, and from that time on, she never put Kay Switzer ever again. It was always Catherine. Yeah. And it started the women's. It brought women going.
Yeah, and she was the first entrant to finish a marathon, the first woman. But they wouldn't have let her enter if they'd known she was a woman. That was the thing. They gave her a number because they didn't know what her K stood for.
Well, and then when Rob's got to go. When Joan Benoit Samuelson, she really blew the lid off everything when she won that marathon in L.A.
Right.
The L.A. Olympics in what year was that? I forget. 84. She came first. It was the first time they ever had a women's marathon, and she came first, and it just went from there. And now there's more women in the half marathons than there are men.
Right? They didn't think women.
You must remember the incident with Zola Budd when she tripped up Mary Decker.
They're still debating that one, whether it was deliberate or not, or an accident.
I don't think they were used to running in a pack, and she was running barefoot at the time. Can you imagine running with people with spikes and you're running barefoot?
Yeah.
You're going to be running scared the whole time.
Do you remember they used to have those track meets at UVic after dinner, after supper. They go up there about 7 o'clock. They call them the Twilight Meet.
Yeah.
Well, Mary Decker-Slaney came there one year, and we saw her run.
No way.
She was one hell of a runner.
Yeah.
Holy smoke. That woman, she was
But
unbelievable.
she never really got the credit she deserved, because she, for one reason or another, she always got beaten for that big gold prize. You know, she
Really?
never got to the podium.
Well, she sure beat everybody at UVic that night she was there.
Anyway, I got to get back.
Okay.
Nice meeting you, Rob.
Good to see you.
Yeah. Look after yourself, eh?
Thanks for lunch.
Yeah.
Thanks for lunch. Let's make a move.
You want to go?
Yeah, we might as well. We can talk on the go. We can talk on the go. Great lunch, thank you.
Okay, wonderful.
So what's your plan for the afternoon?
Go home and do my laundry.
Ah, that sounds like a good plan.
Well, I haven't done it for a month, so he's doing.
Well, you're lucky you got enough clothes.
See ya.
Bye-bye. It is. We're lucky. This is that secret time of the year when everybody else is getting snowed in.
Christmas here, so
Well, where are you going to enjoy it?
from outside of Ottawa,
Oh, yeah.
So you've seen a lot Ottawa.
Maxville.
Maxville?
Yeah,
Maxville. With
home of
an
the Highland Games.
M-A-X?
Ottawa, not
Never heard of it.
Ottawa.
It's about
not
an hour
Oshawa.
outside of
I'm a
Ottawa.
Canadian. I've lived here all my life, and I never heard of Maxville.
There you go.
Well, you've heard of Ottawa.
Yeah.
You've heard of Cornwall?
Cornwall, yeah.
Yeah, well, we're in between.
You're there.
I spent a long time
I
in
live on 80
Montreal.
acres, so.
I
Montreal?
spent 14 years in Montreal, then I came here.
Yeah, my daughter just left Montreal to go to Winnipeg. I went, well, what a mistake.
Have you ever heard of Killaloo? A place called Killaloo? Okay, I got you then.
All right. Bye-bye.
Oh, we have to figure out when we're going to see Joseph.
Yep.
He's what day is good for you?
To see us. I don't know. We could see him on Thursday. if
We
you
could
like.
actually go in the store right now and see him, but no, that probably wouldn't be a good idea. His boss probably wouldn't like that.
Probably not.
That Bill guy, he's a funny guy, that Bill.
Yeah.
Well, okay, what's today, Monday? How about Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday?
Thursday I'm busy because I run with the blind man on Thursday. But
Did you get everything?
I got everything I came with. I could probably meet up with you on Thursday afternoon. I could meet you up here on Thursday for lunch. No, maybe not.
Thursday?
Maybe that's
Morning is no good for you?
Well, not Thursday morning because, as I say, I run with Graham.
Okay.
But I start with him at 9:30. I could make it for downtown by noon on Thursday. How about that?
Noon on Thursday?
We could meet outside the running room. I tell you what, I've got some 50% discount coupons for that running room. I might as well use one and buy a pair of running shoes.
Well,
Because 50% off, even if they're overpriced, still it's going to be cheaper.
do you have a bit of time right now?
Not really, no.
You got to get going? Okay,
Why?
Well, I just thought maybe we could this isn't bad. I thought it's the next floor down. There's no opening here. We got to go down the...
We
want
have
to
to
get on
get an
Douglas Street,
elevator.
right?
Yeah.
So we got to go get on the elevator. I just thought that we could go over there for a minute, but I guess it wouldn't be a good idea to the running room.
It's better if we go into the running room with a plan to buy shoes.
Yeah.
Because I got to buy shoes anyway.
Like we said on the phone, that Bill guy, nobody likes him. I don't know what it is with that guy.
All he thinks about is the bottom line, as you said.
He's not the dark guy. His name's I forget his name. Well, he's the manager of that store, but this Bill guy is above him. He's like the manager of about 4 stores. He's a district manager, and he spends.
We could do the escalator, yeah.
So, and when Joseph, I went in there, and you know me, I'm a talker, and I went in there, and I'm yakking away with Joseph, and this guy was in the back, and I guess he came out, and he was, tapping his finger on looking at his watch and that, so, yeah.
Some people have no
It's
patience.
kind of rude, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. When I was in business, I used to own a restaurant. Somebody advised me, they said, listen, Carlos, when you're quiet, you make friends. And when you're busy, you make money. But you have to make friends first before you can make money. Shall we go down one more on the escalator?
Okay.
But it's true. When it's busy, you make money. But when it's quiet, that's when you make friends.
And what was your policy with how did you deal with talkers? People like me that talk a lot. Stay away from them.
Well, I would just remind them that there were people behind them waiting to eat, and I was working like Rob at a counter. Serving food.
Oh.
So they would talk to me, and the minute they were standing in front of me, they forgot that there was a whole room full of people behind waiting to eat. So I would just say to them, excuse me, I'm going to go for a little walk, check on my tables, and they would walk away.
Yeah.
And if anybody ever wanted to argue with me in the restaurant, I would say, can we go outside and talk? And they would immediately stop arguing.
I mean, they'd probably think that you were going to punch them out if they go outside.
But if they're going to argue, you might as well argue outside as inside.
Isn't that usually what that means? If someone says,
yeah, let's go outside.
Step outside, you're going to beat the shit out of you.
That's what it normally means. But in my case, I was no threat.
What? Why?
Well, because I'm a small guy.
Yeah, but you're tough little wiry guys. They can take.
Well, they might think that, but I'm a real pussycat when it comes to that sort of thing. I couldn't scare a goose.
Now we're at the back. You guys go to the front, right?
Oh, yeah. Don't worry. We should get our GPS out. Figure out how to get out of here.
Well, one time I was running out to Mount Doug with Al. We all the way from the Jubilee out to all the way out Shelburne, because he lived on Lee Street by the Jubilee there.
Was it Lee Street?
Lee Street, yeah.
Opposite the Eric Martin?
Yeah. We used to go to Toonie Tuesdays to the movies there.
Eric Martin?
Yeah, Tuesday night you could go to movies there for a toonie.
Wow.
Al and I used to, really good movies too. Anyway, we're going chugging along, going out Shelburne towards Mount Doug, and we got out somewhere way out there by Home Depot.
Yeah, University Heights?
Yeah, University Heights. And these three young yahoos come screaming around the corner in this hot rod car and almost killed us. And Al stopped and he's... And
they wanted to get out the car?
Yeah, and they were going to stop and come... and we both gave them the finger and we were yelling at them. And Al said, yeah, this is what we need, is a really good punch-up right now. But anyway, we kept running and they never came back, those three guys.
I saw that kid on Lambrick Park yesterday. Yeah, in the wheelchair. I think he's got cerebral palsy. Something like cerebral palsy.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a shame that people who are born with a birth defect like that, it's not their fault, you know. They had no control over how they were born.
Yes.
It's true. People have very little sympathy for people with physical disabilities. They often think, well, it's their own fault, you know. They must have been drunk and had a crash. We're going to go up one now.
Yeah, I have one of my first cousins is mentally challenged, or developmentally challenged. So,
well, Down syndrome, that kind of thing?
No, it's something else.
Cerebral palsy, muscular dystrophy.
Right from the time she was a small child, and she can't.
Cystic fibrosis.
She can't have children, and she has facial hair, and you know. It's a terrible thing.
She must have had a really hard childhood.
Yeah, she did. And, so I know a bit about that.
Well, I used to be in the home care business. I used to work for an agency. I used to have to visit people with physical and mental challenges.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I have a lot of sympathy for people with disabilities.
You're sympathetic?
Of course. Of course I am. It's how the society treats the least fortunate in the world. That's what they're going to judge us on. They're not going to judge us about all our educational system. It's how we treat the less fortunate. That's how they're going to judge us as a society.
And that's how the people remember Trump. You see how he does this time.
Anyway.
He's not big on climate change. That's what people seem to be upset about.
I don't think he's very well informed on anything, basically.
What's going to happen?
I'm going to go over this way and catch the 28 back
Okay,
home.
well, I'm going to get the bus back to...
Let's meet at Joe's store on Thursday at noon.
Thursday noon, running room?
And I'll bring my coupon and I'll buy a pair of shoes. And then they won't be able to tell us to leave. Because I'll actually be a customer.
And that guy that nobody likes, his face will all light up.
Oh, no.
To get another sale.
He'll probably take his break. He'll take a break. Okay.
Okay, see ya.
Bye-bye, Ken. Well, that was interesting. That was very nice. Bit of a schmooze session. Bye-bye.